Hi there, my name is Jamie Jo and I'm with Jamie Jo Sells Wax. I have a partnership with Scentsy Fragrance and I have been sharing and loving Scentsy products for over 14 years now. Today, I'm coming to you with something a little bit backwards of what I normally do. Normally, I'm here to make scent recommendations to you, but today, I want to let you know if you're on a diet, trying to lose some weight, trying to watch what you're eating, these are the fragrances you need to stay away from. Because these fragrances smell so yummy and smell so much like a delicious dessert that they're gonna tempt you. And they're gonna make you want to go get the thing that it smells like and eat it all up or drink it all up. And you just don't wanna do that. All right, guys, I found Scentsy Fragrance all the way back in 2008. I was a public school teacher at the time. I fell in love with the warmers and the wax for my classroom because they smelled good, they were safe, and they were affordable. That's why I fell in love with them. So much so that I decided to jump on board with a partnership, with a brand ambassadorship, whatever you want to call it, with Scentsy Fragrance, and I have never looked back. I still love my wax warmers. I still love my Scentsy Wax and all these other products behind me that they've come out with. But wax and warmers are my heart, always will be. I think they are the best product out there for fragrancing your environment. So let's jump right in. Let's look at this two ways. This is either my 6-pack pick recommendations for the most yummy and delicious and delectable smells that we offer, or it's the 6-pack pick to stay away from if you're trying to limit your calorie intake. Now, I always recommend in 6s because that is the best way to purchase any of the smaller consumable Scentsy products. Anytime you buy 5, you're gonna get one free. That's on wax bars, that's on room sprays, car bars, pods, any of those smaller consumable products. So that's why I always recommend in 6. For my 6-pack pick for the, what should we call this 6-pack pick? For the calorie conscious, or should we go the other way and say the dessert divine? I don't know. Either way you want to look at it. The first one we're going to talk about is Pina Colada Cha-Cha. Now you guys can tell from the name what this smells like. It's all about the pina colada. It is summertime. I get hot every single day because I am a woman of a certain age, but also because I live in Oklahoma and it's hotter than Satan's butt crack here. It's just hot. And I always picture myself with a nice, cool blended drink in my hand, and pina colada is often one of those yummy drinks. But let me tell you, if you're watching your calories, pina colada is not the drink to go for. So that's why it made this list. This smells so much like a pina colada. Like as I'm smelling it, I can almost taste the pina colada in my mouth. That coconut, that pineapple, little bit of rum. So yummy. If you love pina colada, or even like just smelling like summer itself, Pina Colada Cha-Cha is the fragrance for you. We're gonna move on to another fragrance. If you've been following me a while, you know this is one of my favorites. Squeeze the Day. Now, Squeeze the Day is obviously a lemon fragrance. To me, it is lemon cookies, and I have shared a story about my grandmother's lemon cookies before, but if you haven't heard it, long story short, my grandmother was one of the sweetest women ever. One time while I was still dating my husband, we had not gotten married yet, she made some lemon cookies and he was being just a gracious, young man, and told her how yummy these cookies were. And maybe he oversold it just a little bit, but my grandmother thought that these were his favorite of all time, when in fact he doesn't really love lemon things. But from that point on, till she left this earth, every time that she knew that Paul was coming over, some of these lemon cookies were baked for him. So every time I smell Squeeze the Day, I think of my grandma that we called BB and those silly lemon cookies that Paul didn't really love, but bless his heart, he ate a bunch of them because he didn't want to hurt her feelings. You know, the things we do. Next on the list, tangerine creamsicle. Now, yes, it is tangerine creamsicle, but this just makes me think of the ice cream man. When the ice cream man would come down the street in the neighborhood and we'd all run out and, you know, grab $1 or grab a handful of quarters. Now I think they're like $3 or $4, but back then it was like $1.25. Anyway, grab a little bit of money and run out the door and chase the ice cream man. And there was always orange dreamsicle was one of the options. This is a little spin on that with a tangerine instead of an orange. I think it gives it a fun little twist, but it still makes me think of that ice cream man and chasing him down in hopes that he would see you before he turned the corner. And this just makes me think of that ice cream as a kid on a hot summer day, playing outside, drinking out of the water hose. If you're my age, you know what that means. That means you couldn't go in the house because mom was cleaning and she didn't want you in there or whatever. We just didn't go home until the porch lights came on. Anyway, the next one. Clementine cupcake. Now, I don't know that I've ever had a clementine cupcake, but I have had a clementine and I have had a cupcake, and this smells sure like they made friends and made a baby together. It smells so yummy. I really think it's cake forward. You can definitely smell the cake in it with just the hint of a little bit of citrus on the back end. It smells so yummy. Like, oh, I can just almost taste that cream cheese icing in my mouth with the little shavings of the citrus on top of it. It smells so yummy. So, so yummy. Now, this one right here, blueberry cheesecake. I mentioned at the first of this video that when I found Scentsy, I was a public school teacher. For a while, I taught special needs kids. And we did a lot of life skills trainings in my classroom. That meant that we cooked quite a bit in my classroom. And my classroom was out in a prefab off of the main building. So you had to walk outside and it's like these old trailers. Thank you, public education. Anyway, these old trailers that we were stuck in to teach out there. Anyway, when you walked outside of the building and I was warming this fragrance, you could immediately smell it even outside of my prefab trailer. And many times people would walk into my classroom and they'd be like, Mrs. Sullins, what are we cooking today? Is it blueberry muffins? They always thought this was blueberry muffins, even though it's blueberry cheesecake. I also think it smells like blueberry muffins, but it smells so much like blueberry muffins that often people would think it really was blueberry muffins in my classroom. So it got to where I really couldn't even warm this in the classroom because it would trick the kids. They would think it was cooking day when it wasn't. Or I had so many people that would interrupt my classroom thinking it was cooking day when it wasn't. So it got to the point where this was like an outlawed fragrance for my classroom because it was such a disruptance to learning because it was such an accurate scent and smelled so yummy. So we're going to round out this 6-pack pick with this one right here. Vanilla bean buttercream. I mean, it's called buttercream, but I think it's just the whole cupcake. It's not just the buttercream icing. This is a whole vanilla cupcake. I absolutely love just vanilla cupcakes, vanilla icing, maybe some sprinkles on top. Now it's a toss-up between that and lemon, but I am a fan of wedding cake, white cake, plain cake, with that buttercream icing. And this, man, they nailed it. They nailed it. It smells so, so yummy. Now, guys, as I was picking this 6-pack pick, I really had a hard time. I narrowed it down to 8. I had 2 other bars that were super close to making the 6-pack pick, but they're not my favorites. They're not my jam because they're heavy on cinnamon. and I'm not really a cinnamon fan, but I'm going to throw these up just because maybe you like cinnamon. So the two honorable mentions for this 6-pack pick are baked apple pie, pretty self-explanatory, and cinnamon vanilla, also self-explanatory. If you love either of those fragrances, these should be on your list. Scentsy has really figured out how to nail these fragrances down and really make them smell accurate. Guys, the title of this video is, if you're on a diet, don't buy these, but I'm just gonna say, if you love food fragrances in your home and in your space, these are the fragrances for you. Now remember, 6-pack picks are the best way to order your Scentsy wax. You can go online to JamiJoSellsWax.com and do your own 6-pack pick, or you can let me know that you want a little help with some recommendations. Shoot me a text at 918-888-9690, and I am happy to help you with that. If you are considering a partnership with Scentsy, I would love to mentor you and guide you along the way. Reach out to me. You can join right on that same website, or give me a shout if you have any questions at all. Guys, my name is Jami Jo. I'm here to make your nose happy and try to help you stay on that diet.